morning, welcome back to another video. This week I'm going to be talking about Amazon and kind of how to get set up on Amazon and the kind of beginning steps of Amazon and running a business on Amazon. If you haven't seen my channel before, I do business talks every Wednesday where I talk about different parts of a candle business or just running a business in general, and then every Sunday we are here with the weekly vlogs. I do look a bit rough today. I'm feeling a bit rough. This is my first video back since having surgery just over a week ago, so I do apologise for the state of me. Let's get into it. So I've been selling on Amazon for about a year and a half, and so some of the stuff I'm talking about, I have no idea if it's still exactly the same, but this is what it was like when I signed up. So when you first sign up to Amazon, you make an account. I believe there's like a little period where it gets either approved or denied. You have to do like all your verification stuff. I had to actually do like a video call with somebody in America, and they were like checking my ID on the screen and stuff like that. Then you get passed through that. Once you make it through all of the checks, you kind of have to put in a lot of details. It took, I think that beginning stage like scares quite a lot of people off, but once you're through it, you never have to worry about any of that again. And then you're on to creating your listings and kind of getting started, potentially sending stock. When I first actually launched on Amazon, I didn't send stuff to Prime. I shipped myself for maybe like 3 or 4 months, until things were like picking up enough that it was like inconvenient going to the post office all the time with Amazon parcels, because obviously the volume you get from Amazon is a lot more. But also I noticed that when I shop myself on Amazon, I tend to not buy it if it's not on Prime, because you have to pay obviously extra for shipping. So I kind of thought, if I'm thinking like that, my customers are definitely going to be thinking like that. So made the decision to move onto Prime, where I then send big batches of stock to them and they ship out for me, which is way better. And I would probably do that from the start if I was to go back in time. So I would definitely recommend sending stuff to Prime from the start, but sending like small batches. If you're doing candles, I tend to send like 20 when I launch a new product, and then see how that goes. If they sell out, depending how quickly they sell out, whether I restock them or whether I choose to sell that candle on Amazon. So you're going to want to make sure that all of your stuff is packaged very well, because they will do drop tests and all sorts of stuff there. You know what Amazon are like. I'm sure you've had packages from Amazon before that have either just been thrown over a gate or just left in the rain or just not great. So you want to make sure they're packaged really well. So my candles that are this size, I have them, doesn't even look like they would fit, does it, when I look at it like that, but it does. So I have them packed really well into here, so I could literally throw this across the room and nothing's going to happen to it. It's all got packing peanuts. And then you're going to have some sort of way of printing barcodes. I just use my label printer. It works, and I just chop them all out. Is the cheapest way of doing it, rather than paying for actual like sticker paper. So I use that. It works well for me. Another little top tip: if you're sending stuff to Amazon and you're sending like multiple scents or multiple of whatever you say you've got gingerbread, cinnamon and pumpkin, I find that it's better to send them to Amazon in separate boxes. So even if you've got a huge box, don't send like 20 of each in one big box, because I don't know if it's just me, but all the times I've done that, they've lost stuff, or they've checked it in all as one item, or like they've said that they haven't received like some of it. Like, it's been a nightmare. So top tip, always send like the max amount in each box. Like, don't put multiple scents or multiple items in the same box, because I just find that everything goes wrong when you do that. So for setting up a listing, I have tried to do a little screen record. So I'm going to play that now and do a voiceover, so I can show you exactly how to do some certain things. So when you first load it up, I never do this on my iPhone. I normally do this on the laptop, and I would not recommend the iPhone because it's so much harder. But first of all, it's going to ask you about a listing name. Now, I never do that AI one. I always click blank sheet. And then you're going to make a catchy title. So I always include the brand name first. I was always told to do that. and then you're going to want to get all the kind of keywords into that item name. Don't make it too long, don't make it too complicated. Don't do it like you would do, say, an Etsy listing where you're trying to get every single word under the sun in there, but just try and get lots of the keywords included. And I always write handmade in Essex because I don't have the handmade Amazon account. Don't really know anything about that. I know people have it, but I don't. Always include the burn time. And yeah, then it's going to take you through to the next part. If for some reason it doesn't let me include the full screen on here, so hopefully you're going to be able to see okay. You're then going to want to pick the product type. So it will make a suggestion, and then you can scroll through the other options, which I should show you here if you press the little arrow. There's lots of different candle categories you can put your candle under. I tend to spread mine across like a few different ones, so I'm kind of covered and getting different different hits on different pages. Then you're going to want to add your brand name. Now, hopefully you've created a brand, and if you haven't, I'm going to show you now how to do that. So the reason I didn't want to film this laptop is because I know you're probably going to have those fuzzy lines across it, but this is the only way I can show you the brand thing. So when you're on your homepage, it might be that, or this might be your homepage, you can click this little line up here, and you're going to come to advertising. This is how I get to it. I mean, you can get to the brands down there, and that's probably how you would register your brand. But for some reason, I always go in through here. So I go to advertising and campaign manager, which is where I run all my ads. And then I come to the brand content here, and I go to brand profiles. So mine's been approved. You will have to submit that. If I'm honest, I can't quite remember what you actually have to put to submit to that. But then you're going to be able to manage your brand. I've never done a post, but you can manage your store. It's all kind of linked together. So mine's medium, apparently. You'll be able to add stuff. Oh, missed the button. You'll be able to add stuff to your store. So this is kind of like what your store and brand page is about. Your brand bit is a slightly different bit where it says like all about yourself. I wonder if I can actually show you what it looks like on a listing. That's not in stock, so that won't work, and I've just deleted all of those. So let's go to a listing. So down here, so this is all the stuff you're going to fill out on the listing, which I haven't covered with you just yet, and these you'll see in a second. But down here, this is your brand stuff. So you got a lovely picture of me from about 3 years ago, and just all this little information, and then this is the link to my store. So if people click on here, I'm not going to click it, but this is the brand stuff that I'm talking about, and you're going to want to fill all that in and create as much as you can there. These are the product descriptions. So yeah, do as much as you can with the brand page, because it just looks good and people can read a bit about you. This is where I wrote the product description a second ago, and I didn't write too much. Oh no, that was the title. I haven't shown you the description yet, but this is the A+ content, so you'll see about that. I never write too much in the actual just basic description on the listing creation. When you create a listing, just write something small in the description and then go straight in and create A+ content, which is what this looks like. So I actually have the Buttery Croissant and the Pain au Chocolat on here because it was just easier to have the two bakery candles with one lot of information. But if you say click on, oh good, it's got one of mine here. If you click on this candle, I have all the others like individual. So this is just all about Forest Rainstorm, and then you've got the brand stuff underneath. It's also just reminded me that I need to change the pictures on my brand stuff. But anyway, so if you go to advertising and go to A+ Content Manager, this is where you can edit your brand stuff. So there's one here that says brand story. So I've got that attached to all of my listings, so it appears on all of them. So I just called it WILDRACE. And this is where all this info is. So if I press edit up here, yours will probably say create, and you'll have to do the creation of it. So then you can have a background pic, you can have all the stuff here, and you can add on these sections. I've just come on because I need to remove that picture because that is not the current picture for Forest Rainstorm because I've changed the label. Fix that. I'm just going to wait for the bin people to go from outside because it's too noisy. So whenever you've made it or created your new one, or you're coming on to do edits, you then press up there to review, and then you can basically add on every single listing that you have, and then review and submit. And then it will also tell you off if you put certain words in with like candles. It might do it to me. Oh, it's because I've removed the ASIN. Some stuff on Amazon, like it's just like clicking through. Oh, it didn't work. It's just about clicking around until you figure out how to do stuff a lot of it. But I think most of it is kind of self-explanatory. It's just certain stuff is like really complicated and a bit weird to kind of work out. Like, but this kind of stuff I'm showing you here, like with the brand story, I think that stuff is like fine. There we go. I'm not sure why that. Okay, weirdly, it's like an error with this bottom ASIN that doesn't actually exist. So don't really know what the bloody hell's going on with that. There we go. Deleted that and it's now worked. So this is what you want to see, that the changes have all worked and it's been saved anyway. But when you create your brand thing, it's all kind of self-explanatory. So again, you just go in through advertising, A+ content manager, and then also this is how you create. So up here you'd press start creating A+ content. Sorry, it's gone a bit blurry. And then this is where your brand story information is. And then for the products, I do these ones. I mean, you can do whichever one you want, but it's quite self-explanatory. So if I go on there, you would then add the ASIN, which is on your listing page. You'll be able to see the ASIN. So you just add the one of whatever you want to edit and then create all your modules. So it's very easy to do this side of things, but very important, and makes your listing look better than everyone else's. Tripped over the ring light and knocked it over. Oh, you can see the rash coming back on my face. So that's like the brand story and A+ content, which is it's not like the bullet point bits that came up at the start that I showed you. It's the bit that comes up underneath with like the pictures that I showed you of the buttery croissant and stuff. Really recommend getting that done on all your listings as soon as possible. It just boosts everything a bit more. And in terms of the actual listing, which I was showing you at the start, you just keep following through that. There's not really a point in me showing you that because it really does depend on your product. Obviously I'm going to be inputting all information about my product, and it's probably going to be quite boring for you to watch me just fill that out when it's not the same as your product. But you just fill out all the boxes that you possibly can for all the description stuff when making a listing. Make sure you fill in all the product images. Make sure you always do the first, the main product picture with just a plain white background, otherwise they can remove your listing. And then you can do fancy ones after that. I always include one as well. I'm not sure if I've got it on all the listings now. I think I do, where it's got like a ruler or like the sizing information, because you'll get people like try and pick at the sizing saying that you didn't state it, even if it is included underneath. You're always going to suffer from people just being idiots, to be honest, on Amazon. The customers are very, very different to other platforms. They are much harsher. They don't read things, so they'll say that it was false advertising because it was smaller than expected, but it's got all the sizings on it, or it was a different colour, or it was a different, like, they just, I think people aren't as switched on maybe when they're shopping on Amazon. I don't know. So be prepared for the most aggressive customers you've ever had, but the most aggressive product sales volumes that you'll probably ever had as well. So I think it is worth it. It's just one of those platforms where it's draining. It's very draining, but I mean, it's like 95% of my income. So it does make a lot of money. I don't know what we ended up on last month. So in September I took £7,158 on Amazon. So you get you get big volumes of sales in comparison to my website. Last month I took 1,300 and on Etsy I took just under 600. So you can see like the difference in the amount of sales you get on Amazon. They do obviously take a much higher fee. So I work at, I think I worked out recently, and I work at about 55%. Can't remember what it was. I did say it on another video. But that's kind of the profit margins I sit at on Amazon. I've somehow worked it out to be very good. I think my pricing structure is very good. So just make sure you're priced well and you can account for the fees that they take. And if you're running advertising as well, which maybe I'll do another video on advertising specifically if you guys are interested in that. But I think mainly I just want this video to be about kind of getting started on there and just my little top tips. So I'm going to do my top 5 things now for joining Amazon, and then yeah, hopefully you'll have enough info to get you going. But always feel free to leave comments asking any specific questions, and then I can help you with those specific things, because sometimes there'll be little niggles that you need help with, so I can let you know in the comments of that. So top 5 things when joining Amazon. So number 1, make sure you fill out your brand story like I showed you. Get all the information, try and make it as professional looking as you can, but also I think sometimes it's nice, especially if you are a handmade business, to have some sort of like inklings towards that, or maybe show a picture of yourself or the studio or wherever you make the candles might be quite nice. Something where people can connect to you a bit more and learn a bit more about the brand and who they're buying from. Then you've got the A+ content, so your product description, A+ content, so all the lovely pictures and just a bit more. I try to use it as like a setting the scene, and kind of how I picture that product and how it makes me feel. Something where they can connect to the scent if you're doing candles, because obviously they can't smell through a screen. So something where they can really get to know the candle or the product. 3, listings. Make sure you fill out all the boxes that you possibly can, because it ranks better with certain information filled in. When it does the comparing, it has like a bit below your listings. If you load up any Amazon listing and scroll down, and you'll always see it comparing it to other similar products, and you'll see the information below that. It will say like the shape, the size, the burn time, the special features, all of that kind of stuff. You want to make sure you've got all of those filled out so that you can come up on those. Number 4, pictures. So make sure your first picture is white background, and then include as many pictures as you possibly can and fill all the gaps, because I do think that makes it rank better. And make sure the pictures are clear and lovely and not taken by you in your room with it looking just like you're on Amazon. You want to compete with the big sellers on Amazon. You don't want to look like somebody who's just taken a little snap on their shelf. Like, no, none of that. And number 5, and the most important tip, have patience. It's a horrible, horrible platform. This is a very requested video, which is why I've done it, but I do think like Amazon, it comes with very, very big highs and very, very, very low lows. So just have patience, try and make it where possible so that it's not your only income. I mean, like I say, it is 95% of my income, but I still earn enough from my other ones. It's just that Amazon does so much. I don't think it's ever a good thing to rely on one platform. So spread yourself across as many as you can. Make sure your money is coming from as many different streams as you can. But yes, Amazon is a great stream and it is a great seller and you will make a lot of money, but it is a pain in the ass, and there will be constant battles. They'll send you emails every now and then they're going to remove a listing if you don't do something, and it is very, very much a battle, but it is one that I recommend if you have a good mentality and if you're able to take criticism and bad reviews and know that your product is great and that these people are being silly and that maybe they're just not reading things, or you know, you have to kind of take this platform with a bit of a pinch of salt and not take it to heart. So if you're prepared to just let go of all kind of control and just get ready for people to be quite nasty, but you want to make money and you don't really care, then definitely recommend. So thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions more specifically, or if you've managed to get started and then you stumbled across something else, let me know. It might be a good idea to do more specifically, maybe with the advertising or something like that. But that's kind of the basis of getting started and the top tips and showing you a bit of how to do it. I will be back on Sunday with the weekly vlog, which will actually include 2 weeks worth, as I've been away having surgery, nothing exciting. But so I will be back on Sunday with that, and yeah, you'll see last week of bouncing back and trying to recover from the surgery, all the highs and lows, everything that's gone on, which has been, it's been crazy. I will give you an update on Sunday, and then you'll see this week of trying to get back to it. So thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe because it really, really helps, and I will see you in the next one.